Hey guys, so it's been about 7 or 8 months since I spent over £1,000 on DJI camera and audio equipment. That includes the Osmo Pocket 3, the Action 5 Pro, and I think I got this one on launch day, the Mic Mini set. Absolutely love these little microphones. So it was about £1,100 or so in total across all the cameras, microphones, accessories, etc. that I spent. And that was significant because I had never bought anything from DJI before. I was obviously aware of them because there was earlier versions of the Osmo Pocket and they're known for their drones. But previously, most of my cameras were Panasonic and Sony, and then I would maybe buy GoPro action cameras. But let's be honest, GoPro have dropped the ball over the last 4 or 5 years. They're not really listening to their consumers, their customers anymore. And I do think this is where maybe DJI is doing better because they're offering solutions for vloggers, for YouTubers that kind of tick more boxes for us. Certainly they're handling audio better. Now, I will say before we move on, I am not sponsored by DJI, which is worth noting because a lot of YouTubers are. They're sponsored by them. I just bought this equipment out of my own pocket and I want to talk about it. Now, over the last 7 or 8 months, I have loved using this equipment. I think it's a massive improvement over what I was doing previously with my GoPro action camera. I just love how their microphones sync to their cameras, and the UI is great, the performance is great, and all of their equipment just works great for me. And I just love how much easier it makes my life for recording B-roll, main footage for videos, and for syncing the audio. And the microphone quality is really good. Now, despite all of that, as you've probably seen from the title of this video, I am going to sell the Osmo Pocket 3. And I'd like to talk about that in this video. Now, for the benefit of those of you who don't know what this camera is, this is essentially a gimbal handheld recording device that's got a nice 1-inch sensor on top. And if you don't know much about cameras, a 1-inch sensor sits behind micro four thirds and APS-C and full frame cameras. So low light performance is kind of in that area, not as good as a dedicated camera. But in comparison to action cameras, low light performance will be absolutely amazing. So compared to a phone, compared to an action camera, this is so much better. It's got an amazing 1-inch sensor, and in the daylight especially, the quality is amazing. You can record up to 4K at 60, slow-mo up to 120 frames per second. You can put a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. It really is good in low light, and I'm not criticizing its low light performance. I'm just trying to say where it is. You're not going to compare this to a full frame camera because in comparison, it's not going to be as good. But I think for most people, it really does punch above its weight, and it's a great introduction to 10-bit recording and color grading, etc. So it's amazing. It's portable. The battery life is good, and if you're vlogging or if you're just looking for a device to capture lots of footage for YouTube, this is a camera that I can recommend. It really does tick a lot of boxes. Now, I know that a lot of people might be thinking, well, why not use your phone? Well, the video quality from a camera such as this will be so much better, but also a phone isn't always the most practical solution because you're getting messages, you're getting calls and different things. It uses your battery up. Sometimes a dedicated camera is just a better solution. So as far as how this works, you simply just turn it like this, and you can then record in landscape. You can switch it around, record in portrait. You see I've got an auto rotation mode. You can do it the other way where I'm still recording in landscape but I have the screen like this. But you can record normal landscape videos and vertical videos for shorts very easily. And the way it works is just so simple. Now if you can see the UI here, you can just quickly change the gimbal around, move it around like that. So again, in comparison to a phone or even dedicated cameras, the stabilization here is so much better because it's a gimbal and it's much better, you get less shakiness and all that. There's different options in here. Obviously, there's tons of options as far as wireless mic, how you set it up, the wireless connection, the gimbal calibration. You can format the storage and all that as well. Lots of options there. You can set the color grading and all that as well there. In fact, I think if I do that, it brings up some colors there. I think it's that option. Yeah, so there's different color options there as well. Now, I guess one criticism I would have, and it's not really against the camera but myself, is that there is a little bit of a learning curve with this. You know, there's been a few situations where I recorded in the garage, for example, where it was tracking me, and that's sometimes what you want. But in other situations, if you've got it on a tripod, you don't want the tracking. So you always have to remember to set up this correctly. You need to set the settings correctly and make sure that it's set up the way that you want it, because this is so versatile that you might set it up the wrong way for the type of shot that you're recording. With great power comes great responsibility, yada yada. But yeah, that's the thing with one of these types of cameras. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of ways to use this when it comes to tracking with regards to how you handle the gimbal. You want it fixed, you want it to track you, do you want to auto track, do you want to manually move it? All of these things have to be considered before you start recording. But as far as usability goes, this thing's excellent. You know, it's certainly with the DJI app, it's just so easy to use. You just move it around like that, stick your SD card in there. I never even take that out because I just connect it with the USB cable. And yeah, it's excellent. Now, another minor criticism you could have is maybe the fact you don't have any built-in tripod threads here, but they give you a handle, which has one. You've obviously got the battery handle as well. I bought the official expansion adapter so that I've got a tripod thread at the back, which I used in the car. I've got this third-party one as well, so I can put it on my tripod. So there are some shortcomings to this design, but you can work around them just by buying available accessories. So one thing I would say as well is that if you're looking to buy this, a lot of people don't want to buy the combo pack. They want to buy the cheaper option. But I must admit, I've really enjoyed having the combo pack because you get an extra wide-angle lens, which is another thing about this, is that this lens system means that you can just, that's magnetized. You can put on, you know, green, red tints and wide-angle lenses and different things, and it just clicks on. It's really smart how it works. The DJI Mic 2 as well. This is excellent. This is an excellent microphone. I think most YouTubers would be happy with that, and that's included in this bundle alongside all the handles and different things. So the Creator Combo really does live up to its hype as being for creators. It's got everything that you need. And what I've also discovered is you can easily change to other microphones and it'll just connect. You just select this one instead. It's great how it works. So I've given you a quick summary here. Check my older videos if you want to see some footage, but this has been out for 2 years now at this point. So there's lots of footage out there. So I will say I can highly recommend this camera. It's an excellent camera. Okay, second part of the video, why am I selling it? Well, what I just touched upon there is one of the reasons. It has been out for about 2 years, and I do think they're going to have a follow-up maybe at the end of this year or maybe start of next year. There's going to be an Osmo Pocket 4 or some variation from DJI. It might be a different design. So I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit to get a better price for the Osmo Pocket 3. Another reason is, well, I haven't been using it as much as I should have. Now, I have used it a lot. I recorded a lot of videos in the garage. I've recorded a lot of videos kind of facing here. I've been sitting in the office and recording YouTube shorts or, you know, different videos for YouTube. And I have used it, but maybe not as much as I'd hoped. Another thing is that I'm not really a vlogger. I don't get out there. I don't get outside much. I'm an internal YouTuber. I'm a house dweller just through circumstances with work and different things. I can't always get outside to record on my own. So a lot of the times that I use this, it was inside rather than outside. And like I said, the low light performance is excellent. But at home, if you kind of want better low light performance, you know, I'm recording here with a full frame camera, etc. You kind of want quality to match that. So at home, it's maybe not the most suitable camera, but it's certainly not terrible either. So it really just comes down to the fact that I'm not using it as much as I should have. And the fact there's a new version coming out and I want to get the best price for it. And it's probably time to sell. And if I sell it, it's I'm not really going to miss it. And one of the reasons that I've not used it a lot, and one of the reasons I'm not going to miss it, is this. The DJI Action 5 Pro. Some people need both of these cameras, and I thought I was one of those. I thought, well, I need an action camera. I always take an action camera on holiday. I'll use this in the car, etc. And what I found when I took the Osmo Pocket 3 and I took the Action 5 Pro on holiday was that I never used this. And it's just a wee thing, but it's just a little thing, is that this is just smaller. It's just easier to take around, and it's just more flexible in that you need to be a little bit more careful with this from a protection point of view, because this isn't an action camera. You know, it does come with a protective cover. Oh, if I can get it. It does come with a protective cover to protect the screen, etc., and protect the screen, and that works great. But that's not as good as having an action camera. DJI's Action 5 Pro as well has got this magnetic mounting system, which I love. And I think for my circumstances, when I'm on holiday, this just seems an easier thing to use. And even around the house, it's just easy to do that and you know, spin the camera around. It's not as good as a gimbal spinning around instantly, but for most situations where I was recording with this, I probably could have used my action camera. Video quality might not have been as good, but it probably would have done what I needed, you know, and I would have been happy with it. So in that respect, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 became surplus to requirements, because I kind of early on decided that this was a better solution for the way that I record at home. And that's, you know, why if I decide to sell this, which I have, when I sell this, should I say, it's because I can easily switch to this, and I'm not going to miss that as much because I do have a good backup. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've enjoyed me ranting and raving about the Osmo Pocket 3. I am thinking about buying another full frame camera in the future to kind of supplement what I record and how I record at home. This remains an amazing camera. It remains a camera that I can recommend to anyone out there, but like any product, it really comes down to what you're looking for, how you're going to use it, what your budget is, etc. And you know, if you are a YouTuber though, and if this does tick your boxes, if this, you know, does everything that you're looking for, this is something that I can recommend. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that don't have this, and they probably should buy it because it's so good, and it would probably help them speed up their recording process, improve their recording process. And this combo in particular is just so good because it comes with a microphone, etc. But their action camera for me is so useful as well. For the type of videos and the way that I record, this is maybe a better solution for me, at least at this point. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed learning about my experience with DJI equipment over the last 7 or 8 months. I never said 7 to 8 there, did I? 7 or 8 months. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my experience. I hope you understand more about the Osmo Pocket 3. If you do want to buy this, don't take everything I've said as gospel. Look out for some other reviews out there. Check out the footage from others out there. Look at some tutorials to see how you would use it, etc. before you take the plunge and spend a lot of money on it, because it does retail for like, you know, £450, £500 or so. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, please do post them down below in the comment area. And until next time, take care.